So with this, I think most of you had voted that you wish to club the panel discussion, and that is exactly what we have done. So, you know, when we read through the topics once again, I think there's a very relevant thing that comes up, and hence we are going to be speaking on the topic role of hybrid learning in creating well-rounded, conducive learning environment for our future learners. And with this very two vibrant, energetic moderators, I would like to invite Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲𝗲 and Dr. Nikita Kothari, who will be the moderators. And now calling out the names of the panelists. On the panel we have Ms. 𝗖actually 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. Kindly join us on the dais. Mr. Avinash Kulkarni, Dr. Maria Ansari, Mr. Kapish Saraf. Also we have Ms. Rashmi Singh, the Principal Podar Brio International School, Preeti Pasricha, Vice Principal Radcliffe School, Khargar, Navi Mumbai, Dr. Pooja 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, Vice Principal Sri Balaji International School, Mumbai, and Ms. Komal Thakkar, co-founder and promoter, Lotus Kids Preschool and Child Development Center, Surat. Over to you, ma'am. Yeah, and sorry, ma'am, we also have Mr. Amar Singh Magar from PNC.
Good evening. Good evening.
A very good evening to everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
But that energy is somewhere dropping down. So namaste, namaskar, adab, shabbakher, vanakkam, 𝗙ecie Mumbai.
Bada hai na?
Again, 𝗙cie Mumbai.
Yes, everyone has to say bada hai. Yes. It is slang Marathi, but it's a typical reply. If you ask someone 𝗙cie bhau, so they reply bada hai. Now we both want you all to stand up for some time, because I know you all must be feeling really very, very sleepy.
So small activity for you.
Just a small activity
Everyone
where.
please stand up first.
Yes, and since it is hybrid learning, we don't want you all only to listen to us. We also want you all to interact with us. So this is the first step.
People on the stage, ma'am.
Yeah.
So we have Ms. Vichita Sinha. Yes.
Yes.
And Ms. Namki. So kindly join the panel. So I have given you more audience on stage.
Wow, thank you so much.
More the merrier.
Yes. Yes.
Let
Yes,
us-
over
let
to
us-
Nikita
let us
ma'am.
do some small activity. This is a type of clap. We say victory clap. How we do it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on, everyone. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Louder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's wonderful. And there's one small shake dance.
You go and demonstrate.
Should I demonstrate? Because this is
Yes.
hybrid, okay?
Yes. It's hybrid.
So I'm going to shrug off all
Yes. Audience. Panelist also.
Audience, come on.
How's the Josh? Hi. Hi. Yes. Now we are all set for a wonderful panel discussion with all these eminent panelists here. All principals, trustees, directors from reputed schools with lot of experience. And yes, pandemic already has taught us a lot. And today, since the topic is hybrid learning, we would be, it would be not more than discussion, it would be more beyond that. So we all want the audience also to be involved in this panel discussion. And let's begin. I'll be here. Okay. You sit. I'll be here.
To begin with, we have a small quote. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Today being a special day, National Education Day, just celebrated to mark the birth anniversary of Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. He was the first education minister of independent India. And here we are, who are going to speak on hybrid teaching. So, Shilpa ma'am, should we?
Yes. So we will start with the questions. So should I start, Nikita? Yes, ma'am. So my first question would be to Ms. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲𝗲. You are Shweta, okay. Shweta ma'am is, she's the I think founder for Bright Beginnings International Preschool, Thane, Mumbai, right ma'am? And with her experience, I would like to ask you that ma'am, when parents come to a preschool, admission in a preschool, what do you think as a preschool founder are the parameters they're looking into a preschool, typically to admit their child? So I would like to know more about it.
So when a parent comes to us, the first thing that they currently look at, because I think current parents are 21st generation parents, yes? So they look at a holistic development program, okay? And the second thing that they look at is good quality teachers who can give them that environment, and they look at the space. These are the two things that I have seen, and I think curriculum plays a very important role. How technology has come in. I think during COVID, a lot of pre-primary parents were a little reluctant to introduce screen to children. But now, since it is a part and parcel, I think parents have accepted it very well. And hybrid learning will be definitely supported by the parents. That is what I feel.
Wonderfully said,
Right.
Shweta ma'am. Hybrid learning has been a hot topic since this pandemic, which has forced all the schools to reform and restructure our institutions. Even the instructions which we gave all the schools, they were hybrid. After the pandemic also, some were coming online, some were reluctant to come, some were easy, who were nearby coming to the school. So, moving on, my next question is to Maheshwari ma'am. Maheshwari ma'am, fostering global competencies and meeting the needs of diverse learners. How do you think you do it in your school?
Namaste, myself Ms. Maheshwari. Speaking about my school, I am heading a residential school. So residential, it means school and family together. So all the values and learnings, what we are learning in the school, is all about family together and the school together. So it's a soft corner also, and when we need to have a strict corners also. Hybrid learning is perfectly fit for the residential school, as I can say, because start from values, from learning, from health, every quotient we have to check over here. So start with the emotional quotient, start, as just now ma'am have suggested, technical quotient. Yes, we keep children out of the technology, but what is the technology helpful for them? We do allow them. So hybrid learning for the residential school is perfectly fit. Similarly, agriculture also, when we are giving it to them, when we are allowing technology with a positive matter to the student. Previously, we used to do the organic farming in the school campus. Now, students are planning to do it hydroponic farming. So this is also a technology helping the students. So hybrid learning is in a perfect package for the residential students.
Very well said, ma'am. Very well said.
So, my next question is to Ms. Rashmi ma'am. And since Rashmi ma'am is an educationist who had who has a very good school with a good number, and with all her experience, because I have seen her personally handling so many grievances. She has personally handled every little problem in her school. So, ma'am, I would like you to elaborate more on your experiences post-pandemic with the students and with the parents also.
Well, good evening to all. I am Mrs. Rashmi Singh. I head 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 International School, which is located at Badlapur. Very valid question, and I think this answer is known by all of us. the changes, the kind of challenges that we face, first of all, to get the students into the school setup with the discipline that we expect. Especially now, I'm sure each one of us must be experiencing, we have one new case every day in our cabin to deal with, and not only the cases which involves the counseling of students, but the counseling of parents as well. So with respect to the discipline required in the school, I think all of us must agree, should agree, and do have to agree that the discipline has completely gone away from the students' mindset, and they are just the casual learners as they were while they were in the online system. So this is one thing. Secondly, I feel I may not blame it to the other stakeholders, the parents. Of course, they were also earning, and they were also handling their job profiles. But somewhere, yes, the parenting aspect, I feel, is a great miss, because parents don't know what the children have been, what they have come up to, what all they have learned, and what all things are a big surprises for the parents. So this is somewhere I feel a parent orientation, a parent counseling is also, an area which is now or should be taken up by school, so that we at least tell them that certain aspect of your students, of your ward, you must be knowing and you must be monitoring.
Right.
Thank you.
Very well said, Rashmi ma'am. Discipline is taken for a toss, and which we all will agree that each and every principal is going through this hurdle. My next question is to Avinash Kulkarni sir, Vice Principal, Bal Bharati. So what do you think the quality learning which looks like in hybrid environment? Like we all have gone through this hybrid environment. And what do you think about the quality?
When I say hybrid learning model, the definition of hybrid learning model is something like online and traditional together, but at the simultaneously. And when we take the blended approach in the hybrid model, I feel that the quality education matters a lot. What is the quality education we define? As SDG 4 says that by 2030, we should have quality education all over the world. But what is that quality we are talking about is to make our children not the work ready, but the life ready. So this is only possible when we give the learning environment for the students in the school and out of the school. The school campus is not only a campus of physical presence, but it is a school culture, which matters a lot for making a quality education. At the same time, the another domain added is the digital space, what the schools are going to use, how the digital space is managed, and how the nurturing of the quality education we are going to manage by using digital spaces is at most important for quality education. So I feel that in hybrid learning, we have to balance both physical space and digital space to nurture the talent of the child. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kulkarni. Next question I would like to ask Amar Singh ji. And since we are now going towards NEP, we will be following the NEP implementation will be done soon. I would like to make this panel a multilingual panel. So, sir, मुझे आपको ये पूछना है कि आपके स्कूल में जैसे हम लोग ने जब पैंडेमिक में ऑनलाइन शुरू कर दिया था फ्रॉम डे 1 CBSE या ICSE इंटरनेशनल बोर्ड्स, आप लोग ने थोड़ा इनिशियली स्ट्रगल किया. उसके बाद फिर आपने क्या स्टेप्स लिए कि आपके जो हाइब्रिड लर्निंग की तरफ भी आप अभी अग्रसर हो गए हो हमारे जैसे ही, तो आपके एफर्ट्स जानना चाहेंगे.
नहीं, हाइब्रिड लर्निंग इज़ वेरी गुड, बट कैसे है कि पहले बच्चों को ये समझाना पड़ेगा कि इसके फ़ायदे क्या है और कैसे उसको यूटिलाइज किया जाए. क्योंकि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि मुझे 2 महीना बच्चों का काउंसलिंग करना पड़ा कि तू अभी फेसबुक बंद कर, इंस्टाग्राम बंद कर, इसका फ़ोटो लेना बंद कर, स्कूल में मोबाइल लाना बंद कर. 10वीं के बच्चे 50% बच्चे मोबाइल लाते थे. बीच की छुट्टी में सेल्फी खींचो, इसका फ़ोटो खींचो, उसका फ़ोटो डालो, और फिर पेरेंट्स की बहुत सारी कंप्लेंट्स, वो 2 महीना वही करना पड़ा. अभी जाके सितंबर अक्टूबर में वो सब बंद हुआ। तो हाइब्रिड एजुकेशन के लिए वो मुझे बताना पड़ा कि मोबाइल डेफिनेटली अच्छा है, हाइब्रिड एजुकेशन डेफिनेटली अच्छा है, लेकिन उसके फायदे क्या है और नुकसान क्या है, व्हाट इज़ गुड व्हाट इज़ बैड, वो जब तक हम लोग उसको समझाते नहीं है तब तक उसका सही परिणाम नहीं होगा। क्योंकि मैडम ने बताया था कि साइबर स्पेस ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है, कि साइबर स्पेस क्या है, साइबर क्राइम क्या है, उसकी वजह से क्या हो सकता है, ये सब चीज़ें बच्चों तक जब तक नहीं जाती है, अच्छा काउंसलर अच्छा प्रिंसिपल ये बातें नहीं बताता है, तब तक ये सब चीज़ें आगे नहीं जाएगी। क्योंकि क्या होता है, अच्छे घर के बच्चे जिनके घर में पेरेंट्स ये सब देख रहे हैं, मेरे तो बच्ची के माँ बाप, कई बाप काम पे जा रहे हैं, वॉचमैन है, कई माँ भांडी धोने जा रही है, घर काम करने जा रही है, तो उसको पता ही नहीं, वो 6 बजे चली जाती है, शाम को रात 8 बजे 9 बजे आती है, उसको पता नहीं उसकी लड़की क्या कर रही है, उसका लड़का क्या कर रहा है। घर में उसके पास मोबाइल है, वो कहाँ फोटो निकाल रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है, कुछ पता नहीं है। तो उसके लिए भी हम लोगों को काम करना पड़ रहा है कि भाई ये बच्चा ट्रैकिंग कर रहे हैं हम लोग अभी, कि उस क्लास टीचर को बोलता हूँ कि कितने बच्चे ऑनलाइन हैं, जरा आप देखो, वो जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है उस पर क्या काम कर रहे हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं, कितने बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं। हम लोग जब भी उनको होमवर्क देते हैं व्हाट्सएप पे, तो वो सब चीज़ें देखते हैं, उसके बाद डेफिनेटली अच्छी बात है, लेकिन ये सब चीज़ें करनी पड़ेगी, उसका सब ये मतलब भी है। थैंक यू।
वेरी वेल सेड। एक कॉइन के 2 पहलू होते हैं, तो उसी तरह गुड और बैड है, और एक प्रिंसिपल को वह सब बताना पड़ता है, टीचर को वह सब बताना पड़ता है, और वाकिफ़ करना पड़ेगा बच्चों को, और बहुत सारा काम अभी हमको आगे करना है। मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कपिश सराफ सर, कपिश सराफ sir, CEO, Director of KidX. Sir, what do you think about fostering global competencies and meeting the needs of diverse learner? Because after pandemic, we see in a class there are different type of students sitting. There are few students who are like numb, they do not participate. Some are very active, some are hyperactive. So what do you think about fostering global competencies and meeting the need of diverse learners? Over to you, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. I'll not give a direct answer to that question. Maybe I'll try to articulate in a different manner. If we look at our pre-NEP 2020 education system, schools hain, then colleges where we do our graduation, undergrad, and then people go for their masters. Masters mein there is MBA. MBA happens to be one of the unique programs in the country or anywhere जहाँ पे एक बैच में जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं वो सेम एज प्रोफाइल के नहीं होते हैं. They are not of similar experience. I have a class of 300 students. 40% are freshers, 60% people come with experience, someone with 1 year of experience, someone has experience in engineering, someone in marketing. They create a diverse group of learners together. Then how do these B schools teach those students? True, they are adults. The complexity of handling a young learner is lesser in those cases. But what they upfront realize and recognize is that the learning path for every individual is going to be different. A teacher or a professor alone cannot entertain or service the unique customized learning demand of each and every student in that batch. That is why we see there is a lot of emphasis on case studies, experiential learning, project-based studies, that I as a teacher am not the only person who will be enabling you in improving your knowledge and development. You benefit a lot from peer group, right? Now, because you are dealing with adults, it is an easier problem to solve for. When it comes to the schooling system, to the direct question being posed, how do we make sure that we can enable a customized learning path for each and every child? To solve for that, whichever initiatives that we want to take, I think we'll have to look at it from two dimensions, which are some relatively less subjective issues, and which are the areas where ambiguity and subjectivity are higher. Wherever ambiguity and subjectivity are higher, it needs to be a very high-touch, teacher-led, in-person interaction. Technology's evolution has only been to the extent that relatively less subjective stuff you can enable and deliver it through technology. And when we are planning a hybrid learning system, we have to think about, like if you have two teachers, one is good for maths, one is good for science, you decide कौन सा class और कौन सा section उनके बीच में divide करेंगे. Similarly, we as educators have to take a call कौन सा agenda technology के through digitally solve करेंगे, कौन सा in-person teacher के through करेंगे. But the goal is how can we help the child identify his or her potential, maximum potential at the earliest. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. Now in school when we teach, we do not just teach the content, we teach students the content. So I would like to ask Vijeta ma'am, ma'am, how do you think teachers can make this process very easier, the teaching learning process for the children, to make it easier? Because when I am talking with my teachers are asking me that, ma'am, post-pandemic, it's literally stressed to go into the class. They are scared to go into the class. And they are literally questioning me, ma'am, what type of child we had given to the parent? And what have the parents given us back? We gave a civilized child to the parent, and post 2 years of pandemic, what have they given us back? And literally, they are stressed. They don't want to go to the class because the class is not in control at all. They are still not able to sit properly, sit quietly, be attentive. So, ma'am, I would like some suggestions from you for how teachers would be, handling this crisis.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would just like to start, audience, how you find our moderators. Like the moment when both of you have started, it was the fantastic starting, right? The way you all have engaged the audience. Before this, they were talking about the meters, like how's the mood, how's the Josh and all. So everything actually depends on our hand, in the hand of teachers and the person who is hosting the event. So it depends on that. Even the sleeping one, we are having so much of ability and capability that we can make them awake. And that's what both of you have done, ma'am. So a huge round of applause for both of them. Thank you so much.
That means we are good teachers, right?
Now, this is what it really matters. It doesn't matter how much we are qualified on paper. It matters how we are executing our class, how we are empathic towards our children. So, post-COVID, actually what is more important and the paramount importance has to be given is the love, the care, the empathy, and to show the students that yes, you all are safe in our hand, and it's fine if you have done something wrong. Ultimately, we all are human beings. We have to teach them to accept the flaws and to reproduce it with the solution. So a self-evaluation method is very, very important for each one of us, being a teacher, being a learner. A student also, they need to know how to do the self-evaluation. And based on that, I think the output, what it will come, as an example of the hybrid model we are talking about. So post-COVID, mostly all these schools, they are following the blended learning method. And definitely, I do believe hybrid is the future because this will going to somewhere cut down the traveling issues with the parent. So it will going to reduce the transportation fee. So in a feasible fee structure, we can give them a quality education. Even the education can reach to the remote areas. And with the world-class faculty, it can be reached to the remote areas, learners as well, and online community can be made. And there should be always a co-host for the hybrid classes, and even if it is not online or a hybrid classes, for the physical classes also, if we can have a co-teacher. someone should be there to evaluate. As ma'am was saying, ki some of the students used to be numb in the online classes. So a co-teacher will definitely going to help to identify, to relocate the problem. Once we will going to identify the problem, then definitely being a teacher, we are confident that we can come up with the solution. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think we all are honeybees. Don't get me wrong. Like scientifically, it has been proved due to the heavy weight of the honeybee body, honeybee can never fly. This honeybee has proved wrong. They are having really light wings. So during COVID, everybody must be thinking, oh, teachers are from non-IT background. It's really, they can't achieve this. But it's a parent, teacher, or student. Everybody has proved it wrong. Yes, we can fly. Despite having a thin wings, we can fly. Thank you so much.
So, Vijeta ma'am, very well said. Very, very well said. You spoke about empathy, well-beingness. So let us all clap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Climbing to the top demands strength. Sorry. Climbing to the top demands strength. Whether it is on the top of the Mount Everest or to the top of your career. So here we are, all the educators sitting and trying to think, putting our head together, what will be the best outcomes, learning outcomes for our students. My next question to Madam Maria Ansari, Director, Little Marve Play School, Malegaon. Ma'am, what do you think that learning will look like for the class of 2030? A very interesting question, very close to my heart. What is it going to look like in 2030, ma'am?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Nikita ma'am. This question has really put me into a nice brief one. We haven't thought of how would be 2022. We never imagined of having 2022. And in that case, being the director of the Marvi schools, Little Marvi's Play schools, having in the entire country, having at different places, from the remote to the most place like a Mumbai, I found children and from the families where they belong from, every region where the student belongs to, their need and their capacity to think over what they actually require varies from place to place, first thing. Second, the most important thing, the expectation of parents. That's a trio which we say, not only the parents, the families, the stakeholders, that the administrators, principals, management, and the students have risen up to a very different level. We were never thought that our teachers would be like shedding off the manual work, what we are planning up today, how far the teachers are working. Before 2 years, the manual work was too high for teachers, but now it has been reduced to just a 50% low. We are more acknowledged with the technology and the services we are proceeding to. Not in the remote areas, even in the up-tier cities too. But if you figure out for 2030, the imagination, whatever we'll practice today, or whatever will conducive learning which we say, what we start today, that will be the tomorrow's future, the first thing. And tomorrow's generation, we cannot imagine, and that's the reason we have to plan up today itself. That's a survival stage. Thank you.
I think, ma'am, in 2030, we will have flying cars,
a lot of
driven,
IP,
lot of...
more imagination,
yes,
more
imagination. And we see this Marvel movies, fascinated by all that movies. And that might be the reality. Maybe we'll go on moon to stay. Maybe we'll go on Mars. Or maybe we will have floating small colonies where we are going to stay.
Yes,
we do not know.
We
might be staying under the water, ocean. I mean, I'm giving wings to my imaginations.
Yes.
And probing you all to think more. Back to you,
and start from today itself.
Start from today itself, yes.
Yeah, NASA has already given us that project, a few years back, that how will you survive on Mars? And there was a wonderful project done by students of DAV Airoli. They won the first prize and they got a NASA trip also. So a very nice idea they had put in. I would not go much deeper into it because we don't have time much. My next question would go to Ms. Komal Thakkar. She's again a co-founder of a preschool. Ma'am, I would like to ask you, when a child comes to a preschool, what should a parent expect? Should the parent expect that there should be a lot of knowledge imparting to the child, or there should be more of skill development or life skills development or value education? So that is the point when the parents come to the school, in our school also, when they ask, what are you teaching in preschool? They want that we should teach them. Whereas teaching is not possible for a small kid, 2.5 years old. So what way do you convince them that what are we taking as a preschool?
Okay, so thank you everyone, first of all, coming here and participating in this. And thank you so much for bringing up this question. So I have started my preschool, that is our family business, and we have started in 2014. So since that till today, I have a lot of experience in nurturing students, early learners, as well as parents. Why I'm saying parents? Because young generation, young parents, they literally, sometimes I feel they are still not figure it out कि बच्चा अगर स्कूल में जा रहा है तो क्या expectations होने चाहिए. So the questions comes here कि parents के जो अगर questions है, expectation है, so how to fulfill it? What do we suggest? So first we insist them what exactly you should expect when your child comes to preschool. So these are our offerings. So basically, ideally what one should expect is homely environment, right? Then basic learning, academics when we talk about the reading, writing, right? Apart from that, few oral things which a child should learn, the language development, intellectual development, cognitive skills, right? And physical development. Right? So all of these things we should actually put in front of them. Now when we talk about hybrid learning, so I would like to just share my thoughts about hybrid learning. Since morning I was listening a few different thoughts of all of you, but I would like to say hybrid learning, in my opinion, is just an approach. It is not an online learning or an offline learning over something like online bhi hona chahiye, offline bhi hona chahiye. Hybrid learning is an approach where we encourage children to collaborate, as well as we encourage children to learn remotely or for the course, whatever they want to learn. Now, when we talk about hybrid learning, it is not limited to any course, any institution, right, any subject. It is beyond it. Yes. That is what I believe. Right. And when we talk about future of hybrid learning, if we incorporate in our education system, then it should be more like collaborative. Like we should come together, we should develop an ecosystem where we all collaborate, teachers to teachers, students, teacher, yes, parents and teachers. So that's all called hybrid learning. And indeed, technology is a tool for hybrid learning.
Right.
Very well said, Komal ma'am. You said about collaborative, you said about homely environment, basics. So my next question is to Dr. Pooja 𝗟𝗏𝗏. Ma'am, what do you think that hybrid learning, is it going to stay here for longer or not?
Of course, it has to stay longer. We've been talking about hybrid learning from morning, so it better stay. We've been hearing so much about hybrid learning, but this we have heard only from the child's perspective. But if you see from the other side, like me as a teacher, I have got a lot to learn from my students, because I remember our teachers were struggling with Zoom, but that was the time when our students, they were the gurus for us. They told us how to monitor Zoom, how the features can be used. So if this generation is going to be so techno-savvy, is going to guide our generation, then definitely 2030 has got a long way where hybrid is going to be there. And with hybrid, what we are focusing is on ready for life, not work ready. So that is what it is. Hybrid is here to stay.
Yes, very true. Hybrid is going to stay. And my last question for Ms. Meenakshi Kadam, ma'am. She is also a principal of a school in Thane. Ma'am, since we all know, India still has a great digital divide. Not all the children, all the students in each and every corner of our country has a mobile phone, especially a smartphone. They may have a phone which is as good as just only to talk. They don't have a smartphone, their parents don't have a smartphone. Or they don't have any other device. If they don't have a smartphone, they may not have a laptop. So in such cases, have you, ma'am, especially gone through such cases where children didn't have anything? And, but then half of the class may be having some devices where you are doing hybrid learning, whereas half of the class is not having anything. So have you gone through such scenarios?
Hello. A very warm good evening to all the honorable dignitaries present here. Yes, ma'am. This has been a consistent problem since COVID stuck. And we have seen, especially in such cases where the migrants left Mumbai. And that was a time when we lost touch with such children. And when we lost touch with them, we were wondering whether they will return back or they are going to stay there forever. Will the students be able to match back again? Or are they going to just leave everything and join their parents as laborers? So this was a big problem. But then, as the COVID started easing out, we tried to help the students by asking them to ask their neighbors, their friends, or the Panchayat Samaj, wherever they lived, or any of the persons in the local area who had Android phones. And we took up videos. The teacher, while teaching, she had the video ready, and we sent it to the children so that they could see it, they could watch it and learn. And also the notes were sent to them. So I think not having a phone did affect a lot. But yes, there was a lot of teamwork, and this cooperation helped a lot for the blending of the knowledge. And I think we survived. That was it. Thank you.
Ma'am, you spoke about teamwork very well. Now let us all summarize. We're very, very thankful to Times to Grow, and they have given us opportunity to showcase our opinions, our suggestions, our ideas. Summing up, Shweta Bagul ma'am, she spoke on technology. Maria Ansari ma'am, she also spoke about 2030. Maheshwari Chaugule ma'am, she gave a wonderful point, that is hydroponic farming. Avinash Kulkarni sir, he spoke about school culture, digital age, digital space. Harsha Gandhi sir spoke about both different, unique. Harsha Gandhi was not there. Okay, so Kapish Sharaf sir, he spoke about, I think, uniqueness, different cultures. Rashmi ma'am spoke on discipline, which is taken for a toss. Komal ma'am, she spoke on collaborative efforts, preschool, basic environment to be given, basic learning to be given. Vijita ma'am spoke on engaging our students. Rashmi ma'am, I already spoke. Meenakshi Kadam ma'am spoke about teamwork. Pooja ma'am definitely spoke about hybrid learning. And we are all here working together for betterment, better learning outcomes. All the very best.
So I think today's day was dedicated completely to hybrid learning. So should we not give 3 cheers to hybrid learning? Yes? Hybrid learning. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. It's gonna stay, and yes, and we all are now already in the hybrid mode. We need to develop it a little more faster. And thank you so much for being a patient audience, and thank you so much to the esteemed panelists also. Thank you so much.
Thank you panel. Please be on the stage. I think that there were so many things that were spoken about on this panel. So I'm sure that everybody in this room has some or the other takeaway to take back home. And with this, I would like to invite Mr. Manmeet and Dr. Shashi to kindly be on stage and felicitate this wonderful panel of educators. Beginning with Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. followed by Madam Maheshwari Chaubule. Next we have Mr. Avinash Kulkarni. Next is Dr. Maria Ansari. Then may I call upon Ms. Shweta Bagul. Followed by Mr. Kapish Saraf. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Nikita Kothari. Followed by Ms. Rashmi Singh. Then we have Ms. Preeti Pasricha. Ms. Preeti Pasricha. Then we have Ms. Pooja Shringarpure. Followed by Ms. Komal Thakkar. Next, I would like to call upon Ms. Vijeta Sinha. Followed by Ms. Minakshi Kadam. And last but not the least, Amar Singh Magad. Yes, the last panelist, Mr. Amar Singh Magad. Thank you, dear panelists. It has been a wonderful experience listening to all the conversations and learning.